We all know that AI and tools like ChatGPT are changing pretty much everything we do. And I personally use ChatGPT almost every single day. And I know for a lot of people that it can feel like really overwhelming. There's so many possibilities for it. It's hard to know where to focus or what to do. So I just wanted to share with you some of the ways that I've used ChatGPT recently in my everyday life for my content creation and even at my day job. I'm a motion graphics artist and art director, and I use ChatGPT at work all the time to help me either with the work itself or even with some kind of like personal interactions that I've been having. So I want to share with you some of the ways that I've been using it to kind of like get your brain spinning to think of ways that you could use this in your everyday life. So if you're interested in AI tools and ChatGPT and automations using things like make.com, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'll be releasing new content every week. And stay tuned to the end because I'm going to give you one of the most powerful ChatGPT prompts that I've used so far. So recently, I've been talking to someone in my life who is kind of just like ready for something different. They've been working their job for a long time and they're looking to just kind of like make a change or find something else that kind of inspires them or interests them. Again, just something new. And I personally tell everybody that they should get into content creation, like especially someone like this person who has like over 40 years of experience. Like they have so much knowledge, and I know there's going to be an audience for it. And I recommend like just pick up a camera, pick up a phone, start filming yourself like 2 to 3 minutes every single day. Just like put something out there and like do this every day for a year, and like your life will change. But the problem is that like a lot of people, they say like that's great, but like I don't know where to get started. Like I don't know what to make content on, right? And so I just like created this like quick little prompt for him just to like get him started to get the creative juices flowing and the ideas going. So I just went into ChatGPT and I said, "You are an expert in social media and content planning. Your task is to identify my core audience, key themes and ideas for my content, and to create a 30-day content plan. I want to post one 2 to 3 minute video every day." And now this is basically the prompt. And this next part is just an about me, who this person is, right? And you can customize this for yourself. Feel free to steal this prompt, like use this for yourself, like please. I want everybody to be successful, right? And so in this person's case, it just said, "I'm an educator and administrator with over 40 years of experience." And it doesn't matter if you have 40 years of experience, you could have a year of experience. You could be just getting started, right? Everybody has some sort of knowledge, something they're passionate about, and there is an audience for you, right? I just said I've worked with kids who come from troubled homes all the way up to families who are billionaires at the most elite private schools. This is true. My expertise is in interpersonal relationships. I focus on kids first, families, and parents, as well as interactions with other teachers, staff, and faculty. I'm an excellent storyteller because I wanted to make sure that this person was allowed to be themselves, to tell stories and share personal anecdotes, right? So ChatGPT, literally in just a couple seconds, like breaks it down for them, right? It says, here's who your audience is: parents and families, those seeking insights into childhood development, educators and school administrators, coaches and mentors, aspiring school leaders, and just a general audience interested in human connection. Like this applies to so many people. This person has a massive audience if they choose to tap into it. Here are some key themes and ideas that they could talk about: storytelling about kids, share anecdotes that showcase impactful moments working with children from various backgrounds, parenting insights, tips for parents on fostering trust, managing conflict, and supporting children emotionally, how to build school culture. Like, are there lessons that you learn through coaching? Like, how do you navigate difficult family or school dynamics? And like, what lessons did you learn from it? Again, like, you can create so much content from this. And if you want to go deeper, just ask ChatGPT, okay, create more, give me some content ideas on how to build school culture, right? So this just went ahead and like then it just like did it, right? It just created a 30-day content plan for a video that's 2 to 3 minutes long, right? And here's what to do in week one, right? A story about a student who overcame challenges and how you supported them. Key advice for parents: how to listen to your child during tough times. A memorable moment working with teachers and how it shaped their leadership style. Like this would be effective, right? And maybe not every one of these videos is going to pop off and get 100,000 views, but I think over time, like this person would see a lot of success. And then it just went ahead and did this for the rest of the 4 weeks, the rest of the month. And then it just said how to execute. And I didn't like the format. It said turn the content calendar into a table just so it's easier to view. And so it just went ahead and did it every single day. Here's the theme for the video, and here's the video topic. And so if this person just picked up a camera and spoke on this topic every day for 2 to 3 minutes, I think they'd have a following pretty quickly. So the next one was just in my personal life. So we have a CEO, and he lives in a different country, but he was coming into town for the week, and he was going to have, we call him a round table, right? He was just going to get a group of like 10 to 15 of us together in a room and just like talk about the company. I'd be able to ask him questions, right? And I wanted to make sure that I came prepared. Like if you're in a room with the CEO, like it's good for you to have something to say. Like you want to be noticed, you want to be recognized. Right. And I just wanted to make sure that I came prepared, and I have my own ideas, but check with ChatGPT, right? And I just gave it basic details. I said, I work for a startup. My CEO is here today. We have a roundtable group meeting to speak with him. What are some good questions to ask? Is there any more detail you'd want from me? Right. And so ChatGPT just came back. It said to give you the best suggestions, it would help to know your role. What do you do at the startup? What stage is the company in? Like, are there any specific challenges or opportunities the company is addressing? And what are my personal interests and goals? Right. And I love this part just to go back. Like, what are some good questions to ask? Oh, no, sorry, this part. Is there any more detail you'd want from me? Having ChatGPT ask you questions will ensure that it's going to provide you like a really thorough and personal answer to you. So I just went ahead and filled in like the details about me. I'm an art director, motion graphics designer. I want to grow my role, but need to contribute strategically to be able to do that. We're a late stage startup and fairly well established. We're hiring a ton of people right now and growing like crazy. And then ChatGPT just went through and gave me some questions to ask about the strategy and vision. Like, as we scale, how do you see the brand's visual identity evolving? What are the key challenges you foresee about like my personal growth and contributions? As someone who wants to contribute more strategically, what areas do you think I should focus on to add the most value, right? About the team, like with so many new hires, are the specific ways you see creative like influencing culture, big picture challenges, and something to stand out? What's one question you wish someone on the team would ask you right now, and how can I help address it? Right. So again, like you don't always have to have like this big grand use for ChatGPT. You can come in and just give it something like really basic, a problem that you're struggling with, no matter how small, just to kind of help get you started and guide you through. So at work, I'm basically in charge of motion graphics. And what I found in terms of video production at our company, like there's actually like a general lack of knowledge from other teams and other departments about what we do and how we operate, right? And I figured this was a great opportunity for me to create something valuable for other people, right? Take initiative, be a little bit proactive. So I wanted to just see if I could like create a guide or like a Google Slides deck or something just to kind of like educate people about how we operate, the types of projects we work on, like how long it takes to get things done, like which of our team members are going to work on everything, and just kind of like so they know that when they come to us and ask for something, like this is going to take time. It's not nothing. There is work, and just kind of like how to level set their expectations, right? And so I just came into ChatGPT and I wanted to get started creating this kind of guide, right? I said, you're an expert in marketing and creating best practice guidelines. Your task is to create guidelines for video production, motion graphics, and animation. We need to explain to stakeholders what types of content our creative team can make, like GIFs, explainer videos, sizzle reels, etc. How long each different types of content takes to execute, which team members are involved, copywriters, art directors, designers, motion graphics. And I said, are there any other things that I consider? And then again, then ask me questions until you are 95% sure you complete this task. This one sentence will literally enhance every single prompt that you do. And then it just gave me some key considerations, right? Define the purpose for each content type. Specify the intended audience, like what platforms are we on? What are the budget? Like what's our approval process like? The examples of our content, timelines, et cetera, et cetera. And then it asked me some questions. Do you already have a list of content types? Are there standard timelines that the team follows? How familiar are your stakeholders with the process? Do you have defined roles and responsibilities, et cetera, et cetera? So ask me these questions. And I just went through and I answered all these questions to the best of my ability. And then it went through and it just gave me this outline, right? Here's the type of content that we can produce, right? Short form content, explainers and educational videos, promotional content, right? All these different types of content. And then it gave me these proposed timelines. It just said like, here's how long it's going to take for us to make these things. So that when someone comes to us and says, hey, can we get a GIF made, like an animation by the end of the day? We say, no, they know this takes 2 to 3 days for us to, do all the design work, make sure we're telling the right story, do all the animation and get this, sent out and optimized for you, right? Same thing with all these. So we know that this is how much lead time they should give us in order for us to produce something that's of the quality that's expected. And this is just kind of like a little bit more of setting expectations with the stakeholders, right? Oftentimes we find that they come to us with an idea. We want to make a video for X, but like I always find myself going back to them saying like, okay, but like, what are you trying to say in this video? Who is this for? What's the story we're telling, right? Like what like aspects of this thing do we like make sure we want to touch on, right? And so if we just lay this out ahead of time, they know that they need to come to us with this information already. And here are the team roles and responsibilities. And then like maybe this project is too big. Like what types of things should we not do in house? What should we outsource? And then here's a little overview of the workflow, right? And then some things that we should, the KPIs, the things that we should measure, engagement rate, shares for kind of the different types of content. So again, really powerful. Just do this for a couple seconds, and this isn't perfect. I'm not just gonna like use this and show this to them, right? But like this is a really great jumping off point. Next thing I did was really basic. I had a video that I was posting, an AI automation video that uses Make.com and ChatGPT to scrape YouTube comments and turn them into viral content ideas. I'll link that to this video. It'll probably be up above somewhere, one of these sides. And I just said, write me a YouTube description for an AI automation video that does those things, right? And it gave me a title for it and a description for it, right? And I can just copy and paste this or adjust this however I want. Really easy use case for this. So I don't have to think about how to write all this stuff myself. Easy. This one I thought was really fun. If you're a ChatGPT Plus member, ChatGPT has a memory of like the conversations that you have. It keeps the history of it, unless you turn off some of the privacy settings, right? And like over time, like I talk to this thing every day. I've talked to it a lot, and I've worked on different projects with it before. And I wanted just to see like what it knew about us and like give me like a reminder. And so anybody can try this. Just say, based on all of our conversations, what are some of the more interesting projects we've worked on, right? And it just went through its memory. Said, here's a recap of some of the more interesting projects. Automation and AI driven systems like a Reddit chatbot, automations using make.com, some creative projects I've worked on, like a lo-fi music channel that's totally automated with AI, motion graphics presentation, that thing I just shared with you, a year in review data recap. I'm going to share that with you next. And then like, things we've done for content creation, like different types of like business ventures, like I've done coding, community building, all these things, right? Some passion projects. And so I said, what are some of the more unique ideas we've discussed? It actually kind of just gave me the same things. But again, it's really cool for you just to be able to see like what you've talked about and just kind of get a refresher and say, hey, maybe I should revisit one of those. Really fun. This next one is creative campaign. I use this at work. You could do something like this too. Basically, like we had a creative campaign going. We had a lot of people giving feedback on, the design and what was working and what was not working. And it was coming in from all over the place. And it's in all these different Slack channels. And I just wanted to organize it, right? So this is a great use for ChatGPT. And I just said, we're a creative team deciding on creative direction for a campaign. We basically had two options to choose from. And I said, one, summarize the feedback. Two, identify key themes, needs, or desires. Three, draw any conclusions you see from the feedback. Four, suggest potential courses of action. And five, suggest how we can synthesize the feedback to come up with a new campaign direction, right? Because neither of the two ideas were working, but usually you settle somewhere in the middle, right? And I literally just went into Slack and I copied and pasted all the feedback from everyone, right? Like just as is, right? All this terrible spacing and timestamps and whatever, right? And then it just gave me the summary of feedback. Here's how we felt about direction one. We thought this felt more on brand and cohesive, has engaging motion graphics, but has some readability issues. We think too much use of black backgrounds, etc. And we did the same thing for direction two. We thought this was fresh and visually captivating. We thought that the illustrations felt disconnected from some of the data points we were showing. And here's some feedback overall. And then it gave us like the key themes, needs, or desires to summarize everyone's feedback just to tell us like what we thought was working, right? And what wasn't working. And then it gave us a conclusion. We said direction one is the preferred foundation, but it definitely needs to be refined. And here are some of the things that need to be refined, right? We need to incorporate some of these strengths. We definitely need to redesign the merch that we're doing. Prioritize this. And then it basically just said like, here's what we can do to take all this feedback and come up with a new campaign direction. So if you have anything like this, where you're just getting information from a lot of different places, throw it into ChatGPT and let it kind of like package it up nicely for you. So this last one I think is really, really powerful. And I think literally every single person should try this and see what you get. And I just said, based on all of our conversations together, what is the most low hanging fruit change that I can make in my life that would yield me the most benefit? Be blunt and be specific. Basically, what's the easiest thing for me to do to make a big change and to feel more successful and at ease and happier, right? And this is just based off the conversations that I've had with ChatGPT. It's starting to know me pretty well. And it just says the most impactful immediate change would be to focus on building and closing paid client relationships in automation and AI, specifically on platforms like LinkedIn, where you've already had some traction. You've been working hard on content, learning tools, and experimenting with automation, but closing paying clients would give you direct financial gains and real world validation for your skills. Here's a blunt, actionable path. Right? Define and package your services, query, outline a paid service, refine my sales skills and messaging, and close my first client, right? And basically, I asked it then just like a follow-up question because I was really curious because we've talked about a lot. And I just said, out of everything we've discussed, why was this what you chose to focus on? What was your rationale for not mentioning other areas? And it just told me I focus on client acquisition, automation, and AI because it aligns with multiple strengths, goals, and immediate opportunities that you share. And then it just went on to list these different reasons for why it thinks focusing on this one thing would be the most impactful for my life. So if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more cool AI stuff, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.